Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Dominion 6 series where we are playing as Nidavangr. In this episode we'll try and get through year 1 and continue our expansion, which is currently going a little bit slow but should start to speed up quickly, or so we hope. So the plan that I have for just now is to start splitting up our expansion pack slightly to try and take more than one province a turn. I think we have enough of our blenders here that we can send them with Fafnir and these Nidheers, and these guys should be able to take a province quite easily by themselves. That's 54 troops in total. So, if we take Fafnir and Glap, we'll move them into Pastenna. Just because this has a bit of farmland, then they can move into the Glistening Wood or over here into the Gorge here. We have some avenues for expansion. As for Irpa herself, with these Cub Warriors, we're going to send her into the Woven Plain, but we'll not send her alone. Ogaburn, we're going to send back to Nidavangr. He can drop off this Ivy Crown that he has, and he can pick up additional troops as well. Over here in Nidavangr, we've got our new commander, Vladimir Gluten. And he is going to pick up a couple of dudes, like so, and we'll get them all together. Now, we'll need somebody to bless these guys, so we're going to use Scald for that, so we're going to get him to cast Blessing a couple of times, Personal Bark Skin, and then he'll just attack the closest people. And that should be absolutely fine. We'll set up our Nidbathed over here, we'll get the hold and attack, we'll get Vladimir to stay behind his troops. The Cub Warriors here will just run forward, that's fine. We'll move Vladimir down behind them. And we'll get both of them to start moving into the Woven Plain. So if we look at our overall army, we can see that we have a bunch of Cub Warriors who will move on to Irpa soon. We've got Scald who's here to bless up our units, and then we have a bunch of other guys as well. I think overall this army should be able to take the Woven Plain fairly easily. Okay, cycling through our commander, so we obviously site searched in the Golden Fens. We're going to move to Hexwood, probably do that over there. We have our scout down here, so we found another throne. So we've got 2 underwater thrones, one on each of the lakes so far. If there's a third one in this other lake, which looks like it's over here by the gorge, that'd be very, very funny. We'll get him to move down into Ireme, and that's all of our recruitment done for this turn. I'm going to start recruiting a few of more of these Cub Warriors here. Yeah, that should be fine. We'll probably actually get... Yeah, can we get another Cub Mother? Not so much. We'll maybe get another Scout just so we can start scouting out a little bit more over here, figure out what we can see. As for in Nidavangr itself, I think we're actually going to get a Nidhearse, who we can use to lead a couple of our Nidbathed, and we'll just make sure that we're recruiting like so. And then overall, I think that's pretty good. We've used all of our gold as far as our research goes, so we're getting alteration, not this turn, but next again turn. That'll be good, because that means our bears will be able to get personal stone skin, so they can increase their natural protection even more than with bark skin. With the changes of bark skin, it's actually quite interesting in that, because it only gives 7 natural protection now, rather than increasing it to 10, it's definitely not as good as it certainly used to be, but I mean it's still good. Natural protection is pretty decent on units that already have protection. It's just a shame our bears don't have any. I think after this we're probably going to work towards enchantment level 2. We're going to get personal regeneration for our bears to make them even tankier, as well as Gift of the Hair as well, which can increase the combat speed. This will be really, really good for our Nidbathed, just so they don't get shot by arrows quite as much while moving into combat. And overall we're all right. Joe B. Plenty, who I did try to rename, but unfortunately, as he is our prophet, he cannot be renamed. He has done a great job in increasing our Dominion strength up to 7. We're probably going to send him down over here just to try and spread out our Dominion a little bit more over here so we get some more accurate scrying. And with that, I think we're good to go, so we'll move to the next turn. Okay, so we've got Proclamation from Pyrene, so that should be pretty much everybody now who's done a proclamation. Who we had? We had Asphodel, we've had Eru, we had Atlantis, and now we've had Pyrene. I think we're still missing one. I'll have to double check and go over the footage again. That's absolutely fine. So we had a battle in the Woven Plain. So this is us expanding into 2 different provinces at once. This is our first battle with our couple of Nidbathed, as well as some of our blenders, as well as a bunch of Cub Warriors, just to hopefully take up a little bit of the archer fire. But it doesn't seem like there's any archers here. It's just militia. These Cub Warriors should be able to handle militia fine. Here come our troops. We've cast our blessing. Fantastic. Okay, we're chopping through them. We didn't actually change our guy into a bear. No worries, if he does die, he will automatically turn into a bear with shape changing, which is always nice. Yeah, our Cub Warrior is getting kind of cut up by these heavy infantry here. A little bit of a shame, a little bit of a gold loss, but look at our Nidbathed go. Let's have a look at their stats. You can see here 16 attack skill, 13 defense skill, with the Blood Surge active, of course. They've also got their blur, so they're reducing the enemy's chance to hit by 2. 13 defense skill for a guy with a 2-hander. Pretty nice. I'm quite impressed with that. And you can see that they're absolutely just chewing through everybody. these heavy infantry shouldn't be any kind of issue for them. And then we've got our blenders as well to also help out. And with that, the independent army was routed. We will have lost, yeah, 15 cub warriors. Ooh, that's quite high losses. But at the end of the day, they're there to die. Probably not the best way to expand using these guys, but I mean, if they die, they die. I really don't mind. It's just early game gold that we're losing. And there was also the battle in Pastena. I'm happy to spend gold to make gold, I'll put it that way. So here we've got a bunch of our archers, we've got our Nidbait over there. Here come the cavalrymen. This is going to suck a little bit for these ladies, but hopefully they've got the defense skill. Yeah, they're chopping through them. Not doing too bad. And here come the Nidbait coming in to support. So they should be able to make quick work of these cavalrymen. Yep, there we go. They've killed them. The bears coming in as well. Here's that archer fire. Oh, that'll be a lot. I'll be a lot happier with taking archer fire once we have Root Bark Skin on the go, just to improve our guys' natural protection. Just a little bit, because they don't have shields. It can hurt quite a lot. Here come the blenders, though. Oh, look how much damage they do. It is quite insane how good these troops are. I imagine you can actually do a pretty decent scales build. It's not like these girls are capital only either. They're recruitable from any fortification. If you could get these girls on foreign recruitment, then they would be absolutely spectacular. But as it stands, they're still really good units. And you can see here the regeneration that happens after battle, so we just heal up to full. So if we do start to lose anybody because of undying, we'll just automatically get up to full. That was the kind of idea behind the regen off the blood. So part of that, we lost 5 of our blenders, 1 of our wolf clan. I think that's acceptable losses, especially given that we are also up against cataphracts. I mean, these guys they're not fun to fight against, I'll put it that way. They are very, very scary. There was only 8 of them, fortunately, so we managed to take them out. Our crow clan actually did pretty well as well. So overall, not bad. That has added in quite a lot of income to us. That's like 150 income from just those 2 provinces. Okay, and that looks like a really nice place to go. Unfortunately, obviously, we have this chest wound over here on Glap. That means it gets extra encumbrance. It is a bit of a shame, but what are you going to do? As for these guys here, we're going to get them to continue moving forward. 42 with heavy infantry and cavalry versus light, heavy, and militia. Okay, we're going to send these guys over to Jelenagora. That should be absolutely fine. Ogburn has arrived. We're going to get him to put away his stuff. And we have Ganj. So he would have 6 Nidbait. I think we're going to want to give him a little bit more Nidbait than that. We'll probably just send him out by himself, and we'll get another Bear Clan. Quite like the Bear Clan. Between the Bear Clan and the Wolf Clan, the Bear Clan definitely has the better paths for the early game, in my mind. But you also can't shrug at Water 2. Water 2 is fantastic once you get a little bit of research. If we have a little look at our alteration coming up soon, so they'll have Quicken Self, but they'll also, at level 4, they'll get Quickness. So if we can cast Quickness on our Nidbait, all of a sudden they will be ridiculous. In fact, if we can cast Quickness, on our blenders, then they would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that's so many attacks in a square coming out at once, because if there's 4 of them in a square, they already all attack twice, and then you put Quickness on them, so you'd have 16 attacks coming out of every single square, which is atrocious for anybody who puts against them. I imagine if you're getting rushed by someone, say like Giants, if you can get to Alteration 4 and you can start getting that out on your blenders, they'll kill Giants. Like, they don't do much damage, but they do enough damage that they'll just completely tear through them. Okay, let's have a little look at our scouting thing. So Nabah. Okay, so that should be the last. Let me just look at the pretenders and I can be sure. Yes, so we've got Asphodel, we've got Eru, we've got Pyrene, Nabah, Atlantis, and obviously us. So that's interesting. We're probably going to want to send somebody down here. This is quite a scary province to take. Heavy cavalry, light cavalry, militia. A lot of them, 64 units. This is also quite a scary one to take, 89. We're going to need a fairly big force to take this one, then get into that one. But I want to be able to get ready to hold off a Nabah advance. We don't quite know where Nabah is. I imagine it might be over here somewhere. And we can see there's a bunch of cave provinces here as well, something we're going to have to take into account. As far as this one goes, there's quite a lot of lava born. We don't have dark vision on our units, so I'm a little bit skeptical about our ability to take that. Let's get Ragnar to search. In the meantime, we have Ganji Rolf, so he's got his couple of Nidbait. We'll just get him to preach. He can't really do anything else at the moment. And we'll get a few more of our lovely little blenders. If we give them to Ganji Rolf, then he should be able to use them fairly well. We can get a couple more cub warriors over here. Fantastic. We're moving our guys over there. We might get Ogdeburn to just move to start trying to pick them up. And other than that, we've got a couple of Crow Clan archers. Maybe we'll get them to go grab them. They must have been left behind, or I think I recruited them at some point. And we'll get Grandelier to move further over. I want to find out where Naba is, if I possibly can. Because, well, we don't have magic. So this is the issue with the Incarnate Bless. I'd really like to have magic weapons against Naba. We obviously don't have them. Probably until a bit later. If I can secure a non-aggression pact with Naba, that would be excellent. I'm not going to do it just now, but if I can do that in the future, that would be very, very helpful. We don't have much resources. Astena could be a place for a potential fortification. I did a little bit more testing with Nidavangr around their forts. So fortunately, their forts only have a 45 administration bonus. So if you build 2 of them next to each other, there is still a fairly okay chance that you'll be able to recruit some of your mages, because they don't actually require that many resources. 5 for the wolf guy, 2 for the apprentice, 3 for the bear clan. So if you can still recruit at least some of your mages, even if you're just recruiting apprentices, if you're just able to spam them out from multiple provinces, then that'd be great. As part of that, we are making a decent amount of income. We'll get quite a lot of income as well. We'll actually move Hakon over into the Hexwoods. Should we do it this turn, next turn? We'll maybe do it next turn. We'll move Hakon over into the Hexwoods soon, and we'll get him to build a temple and a lab there. I don't really want to move him this turn because we've been waiting for enchantment, or alteration 2, sorry, for so long. I just kind of want to get it so we can get it out. And we'll make sure as well that we change Skald's shape so he is automatically a bear. You don't need to do this because the way shapeshifting works, if he was to die in his human form, he would turn into the bear and fight on. Is a good chance though he'll get afflictions for that, just because he will be taking more than a percentage of his maximum HP as a human, most likely. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. We haven't got any more recruitment to do. We've done all of our actions. We're moving into 2 different provinces this turn. We'll have a bunch more Nidbaith, and we'll have a bunch of our lovely little ladies as well. And we have a bunch still have a couple of cub warriors. We've got 4 here, and there's nobody to pick up here. This is still a fairly massive force. They should be absolutely fine to take these guys out. We'll probably go into the Glistening Woods, then we'll maybe move down to Ligria. Or do I take Ligria now? Because this force could potentially, now that it's got the Nidbaith as well, it's performing quite well in combat, this could take this one out. So I might actually get these guys to move down to Ligea, just because Naba is nearby, and then take Alman, because I do want the money in Alman, and I especially want the money in Ninhabo. That is quite a high population. 227 income would be very nice for me to have. Potentially even a probably a fortification opportunity there, just purely from the amount of income. But that is something to consider for the future. So yeah, I mean, this looks like a fairly small force. I'm sure we can take this out with a smaller expansion force when we're wrapping up. Choosing the best path to take when you're expanding is very, very important. If we move into the Glistening Woods, we can then we'll probably move down to Ligrea the next term, but we're wanting to kind of snake our way out so that then we can then consolidate our lands afterwards. I'm not really feeling at risk of getting hit by an early war here. Nobody's coming over this bridge with 80 barbarians in the first year, at least not for a while. Anyway, with that, I'm quite happy with how we're doing, so we'll end the turn there. Okay, with that, research and alteration is finished. We found a magical site. We'll go check that in a second. There was a battle in Ligrea. So let's have a little look at here. Again, we've got our archers here. They should absolutely mince these lion tribe. They have no protection. They do have quite a lot of javelins, a lot of archers. It's going to hurt our little blenders here, but they will absolutely tear through these guys. They have no protection. Look at them go. The Nidbaith can't even get into combat. These girls are just really going, no, we're not getting phased out. You're going to have to use us along with the Nidbaith. And there we go. We're absolutely destroying them. We've just got the archers to kill now. And there we go. They have routed. Fantastic. So let's have a little look at the casualties. So we did lose 5 of our blenders. We lost a reaver, and we did lose one of our archers in the archer duel. A little bit of a shame, but that was a fair number of troops. But we still took it. Most importantly, we didn't lose any of our Nidbaith. That's the main thing. And there was a battle in Jelena Gorge. Or Jelena Gora, sorry. So this is our smaller-ish force where we have a bunch of our cub warriors here. Everybody's marching in together. There is actually a fair number of guys here, but hopefully our cubs will be okay. Just going to wait for our blenders to come in. Here comes the bear. He's coming through. Our cub warriors have broken. That's a little bit of a worry, but so has their heavy infantry. So we've just got militia left. So these ladies and the Nidbaith should be able to deal with them pretty easily. They have attack skill 10, so 9 versus our Nidbathed, who are sitting currently. I mean, this guy isn't doing too well from afflictions, and he's still defense skill 11, so he's absolutely fine. One of the issues with our Bless, I really wanted to finagle my way into getting affliction resistance. Oh, wow, they actually killed our bear. These light infantry, these routing light infantry killed our bear. That is a big loss in terms of gold. They must have gotten so lucky to kill him. I mean, he's got 44 HP, he's got decent protection. They must have got a really nice damage number on their roll. I am very annoyed about that. But the main thing, in fact, it would have gone through his Undying and his regen as well. Okay, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but we'll work our way through it. I would maybe call that a fail expand. I mean, we've lost the majority of our force. So yeah, we're going to have to send Irpa back to Nidavangr with as many units as she can. We've got Vladimir Glut. We'll get him to send back as well. So let's grab the rest of our Nidbathed and these lovely ladies here. We'll get them to hold and attack closest. This seems like a decent enough force, and we'll make sure to get this guy to cast spells and to bless. And of course, I can't forget to rename one of the commanders. So here we have John Dying as part of our new expansion force. I really wish we hadn't lost quite so many units as we did there. We'll make sure we'll get another bear clan, because, I mean, these Ictiids will be really easy to deal with. This militia will be really easy to deal with. Very, very annoying. Let's go through our casting, because now we can cast Personal Stone Skin and Enlarge. I imagine if we had Personal Stone Skin, because it would give plus 10 natural protection, so it would bring him up to 15. At that point, he'd be pretty hard to kill for those guys. Oh well, what are you going to do? These things will happen. We're also going to get him to cast Enlarge. With the way the scripting is going, he'll cast Bless on all the units that need Bless, so the Nidbathed. The Nidbathed are then going to move on while he is casting Personal Stone Skin, so then he casts Personal Stone Skin. There shouldn't really be anything else in range to cast Enlarge on, so he will then cast it on himself, because we don't really want our Nidbathed to become enlarged, because then they'll have less attack density. It wouldn't be bad. I mean, they already have the Blur to counteract the negative defense. The extra HP could always be useful. But yeah, we can work on that in a bit. We'll get Ogdeburn to grab these guys here. Ragnar has searched here, so he found a wolf oak inside the Hexwoods. Not too bad, not too bad. Cannot really complain. We've obviously got our new bear clan here. We'll make sure we're getting more of our Nidbathed and more of our blenders. And with this, I think we're starting to get the income where we can send Hakon forward to build infrastructure in the Hexwood, so we can get some more mages out. As far as income goes, we'll get some province defense inside the farmland and Ligrea, just because Ligrea is obviously on the edge of our territory, so we want to get a little bit of defense there. Also, it has pretty high income. This would be a really nice fort area, to be quite honest. Has a lot of resources already. We're maybe going to grab a couple of our bear clan. So we haven't really used our bear clan. That's because we have sloth. We have sloth 2, in fact, so they're quite hard to recruit for us, just because they take 16 resources each. They're very good though. They've got a big battle axe. They hit really hard. They do have bad formation fighter, so they do clog up, and they are undisciplined, but they're berserking guys. The big axe, they're going to hit, they're going to hurt. They have decent protection as well, decent hit points. We'll get a couple of these guys. They'll be useful against anybody with a big unit that we find. Other than that, we'll just keep recruiting a couple of guys. Oh no, we can't get cubs. Make sure you're recruiting cubs and not berserkers when you mean to. Other than that, we'll probably, yeah, we'll get John Dying to move to the Wolfen Plain. He'll come up and he'll take out these guys over here. We will probably send our next expansion party out towards the Glistening Wood over to Roka, and then probably just spend a couple of turns here. We're going to recruit a bunch of Crow Clan archers, because I want a bunch of archers to be able to take out these barbarians. As for our scouts, I'm reckoning that Naba is over here in the corner. We've got Joby plenty here. Let's start pushing back a little bit against this Dominion, just so we can start scouting out a little bit more. We don't have any money, unfortunately, but we will get enchantment in a couple of turns. Enchantment 1 doesn't really do anything for us, except for protection from poison. We do get Strength of Giants if we give our Bear Clan guys a Earth Gem. I don't think that's very useful, to be perfectly honest. We might as well just hold it. I mean, Earth 1, these are great thugging paths. I mean, Earth 1 nature, pretty decent. At least it means you can get your personal iron skin on yourself, your temper flesh as well. These guys will become pretty decent thugs. Nature 2 as well, which means we can now do swarm spam if we really want to with them. We can also swarm spam with them later on if we really wanted to, but for now, let's just concentrate on just now. So we've done our research, we've done our actions. We are currently moving around. So much for the 2 provinces a turn. But we got very unfortunate with our bear there. Hopefully the same does not happen in Almer. What we'll actually do as well is we'll copy up that script so we can use that for our next bear warrior. And with that, I think we're good to go. So let's move on to the next turn. Alright, okay, so with that, there was a battle in Alman. It's to be expected. There was also a battle that Naba took part in, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Here come these heavy cavalry, bane of my existence. I absolutely detest heavy cavalry, but hopefully we can tear through them. Here come the Nidbathed, and they should be able to just chop through. There we go, instantly killing the rider. Should kill the horse pretty quickly after that. Get themselves some blood surge on the go, and they should be able to get through the rest of them. As it stands, as for our forces, this expansion party is starting to dwindle down a little bit. I probably need to get some cub warriors in here just to help hold the line. These cavalry are taking a little bit longer. I don't like the fact they're in our archer line, but here they go. They've started to rout, and now we should start coming through, and we'll be able to kill off these militia fairly easily. If we had access to, say, a fear, bless, or a dread, if we weren't incarnate, I think it could be pretty good for our sacreds, just given the amount of commanders that are sacred as well. Right, come on guys, kill them. Kill them, please. Stop running away from me. There we go. Good job. Taking quite a few casualties here. Just these archers in it. But our Great Bear has done pretty well. You can see here that with the larger, he's got quite a lot of hit points, and he also has the heroic ability for plus 22. This guy is an absolute beast. Clap. You fat boy. Or fat bear, I should say. So let's have a little look at the casualties. We lost 3 of our archers. Couple of our Reavers, couple of our Nidveas. Yeah, these guys will need to get reinforcements coming up soon. This was a fairly tough province. There's quite a few more militia than I maybe thought there was. But at least we managed to deal with those cavalry alright. And let's have a little look at this battle from Naba in the range of light. Okay, so what do we have? We've got their Adites moving in. They've got quite a large force here. They've got some of their Jan Guard as well. Hopefully we'll be able to see their Bless. Or do they not have any priests? No, they do. Ah, here we go. So their Bless is morale 1 larger, but I think that's just because they haven't actually been blessed. He's cast Holy Avenger. Or is there Prophet actually here? I don't think he is. Ah, here we go. Divine Blessing. Fantastic. Is that still seriously just your Bless? Is morale 1 larger? Is that what we're looking at here? Oh, AI. What will we do? See, yep, it's just morale 1 and larger, so there's a good chance they've gone for some massive incarnates. As far as this Nabaean force, I'm not too worried about it. There's a lot of guys here. Our blenders will deal with the small guys. They do have a fair amount of range units that will be a bit of an issue for them. Our berserkers can deal with these light infantry here. They do have good defense skill, but it just takes a couple of axes to just absolutely annihilate them. It'll be these guys here, the Jan Guard, are going to be the risky ones, because they do have glamour, so they have mirror images. Decent hit points as well, at 28. They are size 5, so they can fit 2 to a square as well. Something to keep an eye out. So let's see, the range of light is right next to us. Ah, here we are. So we found Naba. Interesting thing about Naba is it does start hidden, so that we actually had a different province name for this province from the previous turn, as you might have noticed. And we also can't see exactly where Naba's territory is unless we have scouts in the area. Very tricky, Naba. Very tricky. I think what we'll do is they'll probably take Espin. I don't think we can take Hanaboa with this force. I think this force is just a little bit too beaten up as it stands. Maybe with a little bit of extra recruitment we can do it, but I don't think we can take it as is. What I will do is I will send a message, and I'm going to send a diplomatic missive to Naba. I'm going to try and see if I can get a non-aggression pact with him. If I can, fantastic, that's great. If I can't, you know, them's the breaks, unfortunately. But what that will do is it means that our southern flank is secure. I don't really want to fight them without magic weapons at the moment anyway. I mean, it is potential to kill them before their genies come out, but it's going to be a bit rough. We'll start moving up to Gimri. We'll get our guys here to move back to Nidavangr. They can reinforce, then come back to Naboa the next turn. As for our next expansion party, we might just send out a bear with our new script, with a bunch of Nidbathed, and we'll see how we can do against that smaller force that's currently sitting in the Glistening Wood. Yeah, so he can move over to a bit of an interesting thing. So he'll move to Ligrea, and then he'll move to the Glistening Wood, and then from there we can start expanding a little bit more eastward. Vladimir, how many troops do you have? You have a couple of cub warriors. We'll give them to Urpa. Urpa does have some more warriors as well. If we give her a bunch more guys here, and we could send her out with, say, Fellman, and Fellman could bless these guys, and they could potentially help out somewhere as well. But as it stands, decisions. No, I think what we'll actually do is we'll leave these guys at home. We won't send out another expansion party as it stands. We need to kind of catch up a little bit on the research game. Speaking of which, we're going to get Hakon here to build a temple inside the Hexwoods, just because he can. We can keep our recruitment going. We will get another wolf. We'll get another wolf clan for just now. We'll get a couple more Nidburs, and that should be fine. Ogdeburn, how are you doing? Let's pick up all of these cub warriors. There's some more cub warriors over here, and you can potentially come and join in the Glistening Woods if needed. Vladimir, let's move you over into the Hexwoods. We can't recruit anything else there. We've still got more archers coming out here. Once we get about 20-30 archers in the Golden Fens, we can move up to those barbarians. I think they should be able to hopefully take them out. As far as our research goes, yeah, our research is struggling just a little bit, but we are being a little bit more active with our mages than we were as, say, Ulm. We need somebody to bless our troops, and the best choice for that is our mages. Let's actually send Geimer. We're going to send him a little bit more over to the east, just so we know what's there. We'll search in New Spring, and we'll make sure we'll get a little bit of defense here. At least this gives us a little bit of light cavalry over here in Alman, because I want some more of that sweet, sweet income. The more income we can get, the faster we can get our troops out, and the better we will do. So we've done our recruitment, we have done our research, and we've done all of our actions. There's Urpa, who is standing here doing nothing. I'm actually going to get her to currently move to Alman, just so she can try and patrol down, just so we can reduce that and rest a little bit. I think that should be fine. This was mentioned in one of the comments in the previous video, but these ladies are fantastic. 35 gold for a leadership 55. Obviously, they don't have very good morale for their squads, but the fact they're so cheap and recruit anywhere makes it very easy to move your forces around, which is good because you have so much foreign recruitment. Anyway, I think with that, we're good to go. We'll send that diplomatic missive and we'll see what happens next turn. Okay, so we searched, we didn't find any magical sites. There was obviously the battle in Simri, so this is going to be an interesting one. We've got a bunch of our Nidbaith here. We're going to get a couple of blesses on them. Like so. Excellent. They also seem to have some kind of priest who's blessing himself. Here come the heavy cavalry, so they have quite a few heavy cavalry, some mounted commanders as well. Hopefully this small force will be good enough to take these guys out. Nasty lance charge, but we're absolutely blendering through them. Good job, blenders. I think I almost like them more than the Nidbaith at this point, but the Nidbaith are going to absolutely tear through these guys. They're going to be a real pain for them to deal with. We can see that our blenders are obviously not quite as tanky as our Nidbaith. Even if these guys die, they'll still obviously be there because they'll have the soul scars. But I'm not sure if anybody has died yet. Doesn't look like we have Righteous Wrath active on anybody. I would kind of wish it would give another glow effect. Or maybe it's just being overtaken by Blood Surge, but it doesn't look like we lost any of our Nidbaith. That's great. We've routed the independent forces. Yeah, so we lost 4 of our Nidbaiths, but our Nidbaiths did really well. 25 kills. Probably a lot of those are heavy cavalries. Very good if there's no archer fire. Ah, and Joe B. Plenty was discovered in the range of light. No, Joe, our prophet. How could this happen? Why is the AI patrolling that province? Dear me. Ah well, so he's dead. But that's good, because the user wanted him renamed anyway. So that's actually all part of my master plan. So we've lost our prophet for a little while. We weren't going to use him for anything offensive anyway, and in actual fact he's done his job. Our Dominion strength is 7 inside of our capital, and that's really what we wanted him for. So with that, we should construct ourselves a lab in the Hexwoods. This will mean that we can now start to recruit more of our mages. There is also potential for us to recruit these ladies here, but I don't really see the point. They have water, they have nature. We can already get that on our wolf clan. The Wolf Clan, admittedly, are a little bit more expensive than these ladies in that they cost 245 gold. These girls only cost 180. But they've only got level 1 paths in both, and they don't make the best thugs with those paths, which is a little bit unfortunate. As it stands for these guys, this is a low level of Wolf Tribe archers, so I think we'll move up into there. We obviously don't have the perfect scouting from our Dominion, but I think we should still be okay. I'm a little bit wary about attacking these guys just because they have archers. Obviously, these guys do have archers as well, but they're Deer Tribe, they'll have short bows, so I think we should be okay. As for our units here, let us grab a couple more of these guys. We'll also grab more for our Nidbaith. 18 might be a little bit excessive, to be honest. I think what we'll do is we'll take 10 Nidbaith. This should be more than enough to take Ninarboa. with these guys here who can't quite, so the bear can move their next turn, so we'll move these guys there and give them a multi-turn move over into there, and we'll keep moving our troops about just to see what we can see. As for Felman here, what we'll do is we'll get you to search, and Ragnar's already searched here, so we'll maybe get him to move into the Glistening Woods, but I don't think we'll worry about it for just now. We'll fire with our archers. We've got a bunch of cub warriors here, undisciplined cub warriors, just to help out with our Nidbathe so they can take this province. Yeah, they've got a couple of archers in here as well. They'll help absorb a couple of volleys. Fingers crossed. So we'll take Glistening Woods, we'll move into Roka, and we found Pyrene. So Pyrene is down to our east. We have Nabaa to the south, Pyrene to the east. Good stuff. We also didn't get a reply for our non-aggression pack, so we'll have to see if Nabaa is going to snub us. If they do, that would be a little bit of a shame. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, as far as the fortification goes, I think getting one in Enerboa would be really, really nice, just so we can recruit a couple more of our lovely little ladies. It will take the resources from here, but if they take resources from the Golden Fens has a bunch of resources. Anyway, thanks to the Steel Swamps. What a fantastic site. I will continue to gush over that as long as the game goes on. We might actually spend a little bit more money to get a scout over here. And then over here in Nidavangr, we're going to get an apprentice just because we're kind of a little bit low on money at the moment. We can't do the most recruitment, or at least as much as we want. We'll patrol a little bit here and we'll get a little bit more defense in Alman. Ragnar, we haven't told you to site search anywhere, so we'll get you to move to Pastena. You can site search there. As far as Vladimir goes, there's no more troops here, so he could move up over to the Golden Fens to pick up these archers. Yeah, I think we get probably not next turn, but maybe the next again, we get another expansion party. We should have enough archers then that if we have a bunch of Nidbathe to kind of flank the barbarians, then we should be able to deal with them all right. But there is between 80 and 100 barbarians there, so I'm a little bit concerned. But with that, we have done our recruitment, we've done our actions. Let's double check our research. Nowhere near enchantment. We'll start to increase the amount of research we're doing when we get more of our mages actually sitting around. Once we get this lab and temple up in the Hexwoods, we'll be able to then, as I said, get more and more mages out of the Hexwoods as well. Really improve the amount of mage coverage that we have and the research that we can do in the turn here. We've also got quite a few guys site searching as well, just to try and improve our gem income, because we don't start with any natural way of getting earth gems. We only get death, air, and astral. As far as our Crow clan, we'll probably start recruiting these guys just because they're so expensive. 490 gold is quite a lot of money for what is effectively an old mage. We could recruit one in the first year, but the chances of them getting afflictions is quite high just because they're going to be old for our first winter. So I'd rather wait until we have a little bit more time. Probably in our second year, we'll start recruiting these guys, and they should be a lot more useful then. Also, they're slow to recruit, so we wouldn't be able to get that many out of them anyway. And once we have the infrastructure to start building other of these mages somewhere else, like the Hexwoods, then we don't have to concentrate this so much on mage recruitment. We can use it to build then. All right, I think we're good to go. So with that, let's move on to the next turn. Okay, yeah, as we can see that we've sent a herald. Fortunately, they said there will be no non-aggression pack. We lose a little bit of dominion. That's a shame. So we did find a magical site, Druid's Grave. That sounds like a nature site. Fantastic. So there's battle in the Glistening Wood. This is our, not smaller force, but our sort of ragtag force. A couple of Nidbathe, a couple of Bear Clan. They should be absolutely fine. Yep, they've been blessed. They're charging in. Yeah, we caught these guys here trying to go for our archers, and with that, fortunately, it looks like our Cub Warriors got absolutely destroyed by that heavy infantry, but our Nidbathe should be able to clean that up. Fantastic. One of them did lose a Soul Scar, so we can see here that we have Righteous Wrath activated, but with Righteous Wrath and Blood Surge, attack skill 19. Scary, scary, scary stuff. Actually, attack skill 20 when you include their sword. These guys will chew through people. All right. Great stuff. So let's have a little look at the casualties. Yeah, we lost 20 Cub Warriors. Ooh, that's quite a lot of gold. That's like 180 gold just lost there, but it's going to happen. Let's see how we do here. This is a little bit more, another smaller force. That is a lot of archers, but hopefully we can tank it through. We're going to blend through their front line. We're going to march on forward. Yeah, we get to their archers. We're absolutely okay. We should hopefully be able to regen up with our Undying. Did lose, it looks like, at least one Soul Scar there. We'll have to have a look at our troops. Let's have a little look at the casualties. Didn't actually take a single casualty. So for all my talk of these archers, they didn't actually manage to kill anybody. So that's a good sign. And we've managed to take 2 additional provinces in this turn, which we can see from the fact that our income is just so good. All right, let's have a look at Jemner. So Jemner again, I keep making this mistake, and he's not a bear, so he has picked up a couple of inflictions. Chest wound, and he's weakened. Not great, not great. I think him and just these guys here can take on some Ictiads, though. So we'll do that. We're going to send the scout further out to the east, and we'll probably get another person to scout out up here. As for these guys, I think 16 should be able to deal. That could be quite a few warriors there. We don't have our Dominion up here at all. We can't really tell. We're going to get immediately some more defense in this province here. This is a fantastic province in terms of its population. We'll do the same here. I just want to get this unrest down as much as we can in order to improve our lot in terms of income. I think these guys, we have 10 Nidbathed, we have a bunch of archers, and we have a few of our infantry. I think they should be able to take on heavy infantry and light infantry. It doesn't look like they have any archers as well. So we head to Namboa, we take that, potentially move on to the Shadowglade, which also has great population. This would be a fantastic place for a fort, just for recruitment. Namboa is also a really good place just because that income. I really just want that income. I'm greedy. You guys can probably tell that from now. From the amount of times that I'm sitting there saying how much I want money, I want money. Let's start recruiting some Bear Clan from here, just because we can. We've got the infrastructure set up. As far as Hakon goes, I mean, he can't really cast anything useful. Nah, unfortunately not. Quicken Self, yeah, that'd be fantastic. I think what we'll get him to do, I'm trying to think if we want to start building up a lab and a temple anywhere, probably in Nenabo. I think I will put a fortress there. So we will send him over there. We'll just get him to cast a couple of spells. He's not really going to be able to do anything, but that's fine. Earth one, the terrible apprentice. Can't be helped. We'll get another Bear Clan, just because they are the same cost, but they cost a little bit less resources. We'll get some more Nidbathed. How are we doing here? Yeah, so we'll be able to send out a Bear Clan with a bunch of Nidbathed. They can meet up with Vladimir over here in the Fens, who is currently recruiting a bunch of archers, and we should be able to use them to punch through those barbarians. Might lose a couple of soul scars. We'll just have to kind of see how we do. Ragnar will keep you sight searching. Vladimir, you're okay for just now. As it comes for John dying, we could take the risky choice. He does have 12 Nidbathed. How many soul scars we got left? 4. Okay, we're actually not looking too bad in terms of soul scars. I think that most of them have lost 1. John himself still has 7, so he didn't lose anything. We'll actually get him to attack the closest rather than cast spells, so he's actually useful. We'll get them to move into Scythia. I think we can still take this. It's a lot of archers, potentially, a lot of javelins, but I think we should be able to just chew through the Deer tribe fairly easy with our lack of protection, and then just march on through. They don't have best morale as well. Yeah, I think that's probably the best shout. We don't have much money left, because obviously we're recruiting more of our Nidbathed. We'll maybe get a few Nidvilas, and let's make sure... Ogdeburn, what we're going to do with your archers, you could just move there to provide a little bit of support, but I don't think it's needed. We'll send you, can't quite send you back to Nidavangr this turn. That's a shame. Got a couple more of our barbarian guys here. We'll maybe get rid of some of these ladies here just so we can get a couple more of these guys where we can. And with that, I believe we are done. Yep, checking our research. Going up a little bit, we will get enchantment 1, not this turn, but next again. That's absolutely fine. We can get enchantment 2 not long after that. After that, we might start getting some construction levels, just so we can start getting some quills to improve our research a little bit. Give them out to some of our apprentices who are doing nothing but research work, and that'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, with that, I think we're good to go, so let's end the turn there. Okay, and with that, that is turn 12. That's the end of the first year. And also, it seems like we've got a fairly busy turn as well. So let's have a little look through. So there's obviously the battle in Scythia. It looked like we had a bunch of magical sites, so we didn't find anything. So this is our smaller-ish force, so we'll make sure we're getting the blessing off. Fantastic. We're going to run on in. Does look like they have mages. Ooh, that's hefty javelins. Doesn't look like we lost a Nidbathed though. I know some of them do have Righteous Wrath, so it looks like we lost a Soul Scar. We're chewing through their front line. We killed that tree, and now we'll start killing up these archers. Fantastic. Good job, boys. Now you just need to go kill that shaman. Boom. Done. Okay, good job, boys. How did we do? We lost all our Nidvias, but we didn't lose a single Nidbathed. Fantastic. We are going to start taking a little bit more attrition as their soul scars are going. You can just see how tanky these guys are. They're kind of ridiculous in a way. Yep, so there we go. We got enlarged. We got personal stone skin. And we're charging on in. Bunch of Ictiids. They do have a water elemental, but our guys should be able to just chop through him. Indeed we have. Our bear is taking a bunch of damage because of these Ictiids that come around the side. Please don't die again, bear. That would be very, very annoying. No, they routed. He got close though. He is at negative 4 HP. Oh, the Undying coming in handy. But he should be able to just regen up through that in the post-battle. And that'll be absolutely fine. Yep, there we go. Run away, boys, run away. There we go. So we have a post-game battle. Fantastic. And as we can see here, he is now 6 HP, so he will live. Oh, I couldn't take taking 2 bears worth of losses in a single battle. We did lose one of our Nidbait. These guys were actually a little bit tougher than I thought they would. That Ictid Shaman with his water elemental proved to be a little bit more of a nuisance than I thought. But again, absolutely fine. The final battle in Ninaboa, the larger expansion force. So we've got our Crow Clan archers here. They're going to start firing into the light infantry. They'll take out quite a few of them. And then we have our front line coming up here. Taking a little bit of javelin fire. We've got our other Nidbait as well. They're going to take out these light infantry fairly easily. We'll take out these heavy infantry as well. The bear coming in. He is large and in charge. And with that, we've absolutely managed to rout them. Fantastic. Good job, boys. So what did we do? We did lose 12 Nidvulas. Oy. Those heavy infantry seemed to have absolutely chopped through them. I guess there was enough of them and the light infantries and the militia that we couldn't quite deal with the harassment penalties we were getting, even with our good defense. Shame, that's quite a lot of gold, but we did get that very good province. There we got a couple of heroes there as well, which is quite nice. John Dying is now a famous hero, as is Jemner. Okay, so with that, I think, okay, we're getting a better look at Pyrene as well. So Pyrene looks like they're massing out down here. I imagine Pyrene's somewhere over here. Not sure what's happening to the north. So this is the end of the first year, so let's have a little bit of a retrospective. How are we doing in terms of provinces? I'll count them up just now. Okay, so having a little count up, we have 15 provinces at the end of the first year. You know what, I'm going to say that's decent. It's not the best, obviously, but it's not the worst, especially given that we had no Awake Expander. We were completely reliant on our units. Getting 15 provinces, the end of turn 1, not too bad. In terms of infrastructure, we're going to be building a fortress here in Ninaboa. We'll get more infrastructure as well, even though we haven't started one. By turn 12, I'm not as worried because we can recruit other units with our farm recruitment. We already have, I guess you could call it half a fort in the Hexwoods, because we can recruit 1 mage from here every 2 turns. So we have effectively the same mage recruitment as you would say as Middle Age Ulm with your starting citadel. So once we get a lab and a temple in Ninaboa, which will be up in 2 turns, and we start our fortification here as well. Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad. I think we could definitely be doing worse than what we are. As for Jemner here, he did almost die. He's got chest wound, never healing wounds, so he's lost a little bit of his HP. Those Ictids were actually a little bit scary. You can see Pyrene down here as well. We've got another passage down. Bakamona shows. I would be tempted to take them, but I think they could actually kill our guys before they could kill them anyway. Anyway, let's end the episode here. So hopefully this is a little bit more helpful to you. I hope this is also a little bit faster than the previous tutorial series, and that we've managed to get through year 1 in only 2 episodes. Hopefully I haven't glossed over too much information about the nation. As far as my initial thoughts go, Nidbait, great. Nidvalias, great, especially once we can start getting a little bit more buffing on them. As far as how I've played, we are a little bit behind on where I'd like to be in research, but we have been utilising our mages quite a lot in both leading our expansion forces and also just site searching. We've got quite a bit of our land it's already site searched, so we can start pulling in those magical gems. And once we start getting our temples and our labs up all around our provinces, then I will feel a little bit more secure in our position. As it stands for expansion, I think, yeah, Ninaboa is obviously a place for fortification, potentially one in Rocca. The Waste here, nah, not really. Scythia is also a good place here, but we'll go over that a little bit in the future. Anyway, just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful to you, and until next time, take care.